All, I would like to thank everyone for joining the SARACA SAP webinar. And the topic of the webinar is SAP S4 HANA for Cloud ERP Transformation. So these are the webinar instructions. So I would request all the participants will be muted during the live webinar. And if you have any questions anytime during the webinar, I would request you to please paste that inside the chat box. And once we'll start the Q&A session, I will answer one by one. After the webinar, if you have any additional questions which you want to ask, you can just simply email it to contact@saracasolutions.com, or you can directly email it to me, kush.dhingra@saracasolutions.com. So as I told you, my name is Kush Dhingra. So let me just give you my brief introduction, how I started my IT industry journey. So overall, I bring a 13 years of experience in the IT industry. I have worked with many organizations like IBM, Majorel, Denave, and currently I'm working as a business development manager with SARACA Solutions. Over here, we are working on the SAP solutions and we are helping the industries if they want to start a fresh journey, if they're using any third-party ERP and they want to modernize their ERP to the SAP S4 HANA, or existing clients of SAP who are using ECC or you're using S4 HANA on-prem if they are ready to implement and modernize their ERP for the S4 HANA cloud. So this is the agenda of the webinar. First, I'll be telling you about SARACA, who we are. Then I'll be giving you a brief overview of S4 HANA Cloud Public Edition and why industries should use the public cloud edition instead of other deployment models which we have in the market, like private cloud or other deployment models. Then we'll be discussing about our expertise in the SAP S4 HANA Cloud journey. Then I'll be telling you once you are ready to migrate and implement it to the S4 HANA Cloud, what are the opportunities you'll be getting once the migration would be done. And I'll be telling you about the benefits of moving to the SAP Cloud Public ERP. Then after the webinar, we'll be doing the Q&A session wherein I'll be answering your questions one by one. So let's move on to the webinar topic. So first I'll tell you who we are. We are SARACA. We are the trusted SAP partners which provide end-to-end SAP services to global enterprises. Not just India, we also help industries who have their global presence. We also help the existing clients or the fresh new clients to start their SAP ERP journey by following certain methodologies like implementation, migration, and integration. And once the implementation is done, we also provide the ongoing support. We have our 24/7 team available, which helps the organization if they are facing any kind of challenges once the migration is done. Third thing, we focus on optimizing while enabling scalability and providing you the sustainable growth. We also help you integrate with other third-party tools which you are currently using in your organization. So as a SARACA, we have our presence, we have our headquarters in Delhi, NCR. We have our offices in Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, Hyderabad. We also have our global presence in US, Germany, Switzerland. We have our headquarters in US, which is in Massachusetts, Boston. So now let's move on to the SAP S4 HANA Public Cloud. Let me just give you the overview. What exactly is SAP S4 HANA Public Cloud? Once the industry decides to modernize or decides to migrate to the SAP Cloud ERP, as being an SAP partner, I would suggest the industry is to go for the public cloud. I tell you the benefits of moving to the public cloud first. First, in the public cloud, you have the best practices and the standardization process of moving from on-prem to cloud is very innovative. Second, it also helps the new customer to require the minimal cost customization because we have inbuilt processes. Like, for example, if any industry who's from the manufacturing department or if they are from the services department, we have our best practices inbuilt in the public cloud. So the customization is very minimal as desired by the industries. Third, it gives you the ready to use ERP because we have many inbuilt processes as defined by the specific industries which we help. So you might be having a question why I should go for a public cloud. So first, if you go for a public cloud, it has the modern and intuitive user experience. Second, the low total cost of ownership. So I'll tell you what does that mean. The low total cost of ownership is less because you don't need to spend any amount upfront on your infrastructure. Like if you're purchasing servers, if you're purchasing storage, or if you're purchasing any kind of data center, you don't have to spend money on the upfront infrastructure. Second, once you move on to the public cloud, it is pay as you go model, which means if your consumption is less, the amount will be less. If your consumption is more, the amount will be more. It completely depends upon the customization or it depends upon the optimization of a company. Second, it reduced your hardware cost. You know that every industry has an IT budget which they release in a financial year. They have some amounts which they need to spend on the hardware. So it reduces that amount. You don't need to purchase any hardware, any data center, or any kind of storage. Third benefit which you get once you move to the public cloud is the faster implementation. You have, I'll tell you why it is faster because we have the ready to use environment. If any industry is from the manufacturing department, services, IT, we have our inbuilt process. The customization is less. It requires less work and the task assigned is completed within a given time frame, which is the ETA. Second, in the public cloud, we have the automatic updates and upgrades. And you, as an organization, you have the access to the latest features. As you all know that industry, the IT is changing day by day. So to keep your industry up to the flow with the market, we provide you the access to the latest features which are available in the market. Third thing, it enables the rapid adaptation of AI. As you know, AI is a boom, artificial intelligence. So being moving on to the public cloud, we enables the rapid deployment. Fourth benefit is like continuous delivery of new features and update. As I told you that you'll be getting a recent updates and upgrades, and you'll have the access to the global markets. And it is like a localized ERP, which can be accessible throughout the global market. So now I'll be telling you the difference between the public cloud versus the other deployment models. First, the features we'll be discussing, and we'll be discussing how the features are suitable for public cloud as compared to private cloud versus the on-premises deployment models. So first, I'll be talking the major feature, which is the speed of deployment. As I told you in the beginning, if you decide to move on to the public cloud, we have the inbuilt processes and the customization is minimal. If the customization is minimal as per the industry, the deployment is fastest as compared to the other deployment models. Second thing, the cost. You know, every industry wants the implementation and migration to be done at a lower cost. So if you decide for a public cloud, the cost of implementation is lowest as compared to private cloud or if you're using any on-premises deployment model. So I tell you why the cost is less. So as I told you that if you move on to the public cloud, it is a pay-as-you-go model. Like if your consumption is less, your subscription cost would be less for a particular month. And if your consumption is more, then it depends like how you're customizing it. Then comes the customization, which is very important. So if any industry says that yes, we are using a third-party ERP, but yes, we are ready to move to the S4 HANA public cloud, but we have a lot of customization which needs to be done. So we, being an SAP partner, we say that, sir, if you're planning to move to the S4 HANA public cloud, the customization will be limited. So they ask why it will be limited and how it will be limited. So I'll answer how, then I'll move it to why. So how it is limited? Because moving for S4 HANA cloud, public cloud, we have the inbuilt practices. We have the inbuilt automated processes. So the customization is limited as compared to private cloud. Fourth benefit is the upgrade control. You get the automatic updates and upgrades. And the best part is it is SAP managed. You don't need to spend any cost on your hardware if you plan to move to S/4HANA public cloud. It is completely managed by the SAP, and we provide you the SaaS platform, which is the software as a service platform, wherein we'll be providing you the infra and everything. We'll be giving you the software which you can access. It just you need to implement that in your current IT infrastructure. Second, if you see that public cloud is best fit for an industry. It's not just for manufacturing, it's for every industry we have in the market, whether it's services industry, whether it's consulting industry, whether it's an IT industry, whether it's an ITES industry, any industry which we have in the market. So people ask why S/4HANA is a, not just a migration. We also ask our clients, so do you think that S/4HANA is just a migration? They say, yes, it's just a migration, but it is more than just a migration. I'll tell you why. If you're ready and if you have decided and now you think that, yes, it's a time to move to the S/4HANA public cloud. In S/4HANA public cloud, you get the live business data instead of waiting for reports. So I had a word with many clients in the past. They say, Kush, we are using the Tele to manage our reports. So I asked them, said, don't you think that managing every data in Tele will require a lot of manual work? They say, yes, it requires. And the second part, the best part is, if a manual work is required, the chances of error increases. So I convinced them, sir, once you move it to the public cloud S/4HANA, you'll be getting the live business data instead of waiting for reports. Don't need to wait for any approvals or anything. You can just simply see in a graphical representation how your business is growing, what all changes you need to be done. Then in S/4HANA, we have our built-in intelligence, which is the AI, which helps the customers to go for the smarter decisions. Third thing, which I told you that it requires less manual work. Error chances are very less, and your faster day-to-day operations will increase because tasks will be completed within the given time frame, which is the ETA, estimated time. Then comes, it also helps the business to grow into the faster mode, and it provides you a more secure system because data security is the major part for all the organizations. And we, being an SAP, we provide you the 99.99% SLA. If, for example, if you're using any hardware which is on-prem and due to any calamity, your hardware doesn't work. It can be because of fire, it can be because of any antivirus, it can be because of any Trojan. So we as an SAP, we provide you the 99.99% SLA. We have more than 3,500 security professionals who are taking care of it. And once it comes to the certifications, we are ISO certified. So the security is being taken care by us. You just have to implement and you need to migrate. So now I'll be telling you about our expertise in the SAP S/4HANA. So we being a Saraka, we have done implementations, we have done migrations for many end-to-end customers. We have also helped the customers to integrate our solution with the third-party tools, which currently they are using, like connecting SAP with PLM, connecting SAP with CRM. Third thing, as I told you in the beginning, we also provide the ongoing support, which means once the organization has completed the migration and the implementation is done for the particular organization, we being a Saraka team, we provide the ongoing support so that our customers don't face any kind of challenges. And if you have any kind of issue, our team is available 24 by 7 to help you in that. Fourth thing, we have our business process, which is automatically automated. We have certain workflows. We help the organization in the digital transformation of their complete cloud ERP journey. Also, we help the customers, we help the organizations to migrate the data from on-prem to cloud, which help them in the real-time reporting. And as I told you in the beginning, once you decide to move to the S/4HANA cloud, it has the AI-based feature, which gives you the graphical representation or which tells you how you need to grow your business and how you can grow the business in the faster mode. So these are the end-to-end SAP services which we do. We do the ERP implementation, we do the business suite implementation, we help the organization to develop certain applications which they want. And if they want that applications to be integrated with the S/4HANA, we also help them. We also help them in the rollouts. It's not just the sales part the Saraka takes care of, it's also the services part which we provide to our new clients or our existing clients. So I'll just take only 2 to 3 minutes wherein I'll tell you about the rollouts and the services. So we being a Saraka, we have many clients who are already using SAP S/4HANA and now they want resources from Saraka so that their business can grow. Their work is not stopped. They have the business continuity plan. So we have helped many clients to help them hire resources in the organizations. And we are still doing that. We have many clients in the pipeline where they are asking for our help to hire the resources so that their business continuity stays on time. So now, if you have decided that yes, we need to modernize our current DRP. So there are two methodologies how you can do that. First, if you are using any third-party ERP, so you can start your fresh new journey with the SAP S/4HANA Cloud. Second, if you're already using S/4HANA, which is on-prem, or 6.0 or 8.0. So now it's a time you should modernize your existing ERP with a clean core approach following the greenfield deployment model. So once you have decided that yes, we are ready and want to move and we want to modernize our ERP onto the cloud. So what's the opportunities as an organization we'll be getting? First is the cost efficiency. So as an organization, you are spending a lot of money on your hardware. So once you decide to move your ERP to the cloud, you don't need to spend money on your on-site hardware. It quickly reduces your structure cost. Second, it reduces your daily operational cost, which is involved. Third, it acts as a pay-as-you-go model, wherein the customization, implementation, and the consumption completely depends upon the organization, how they want to utilize it. Second is the innovation and the competitive edge. As I told you that S4HANA Cloud has an inbuilt methodologies, technologies like AI, which helps you as an organization to grow to a rapid speed. And it also helps you to enable the rapid adaptation which we have in the market as of now. Second, it provides you the ready to use environment, which we can go live in weeks or we can go live in months. It's very simple. Third thing, the enhanced security and data protection. As I told you that the once you decide to move your ERP from cloud to from on-prem to cloud, we takes care of the security part. We takes care of the data migration from on-prem to cloud. We have more than 3,500 professionals who works as a team to help the organization to grow in terms of security. We are ISO certified. We have more than 500 certifications as an SAP, which we have in a team. Then comes the agility and scalability. So once your ERP is ready to adapt the market changes, which you see that IT is changing day by day, there are some features or updates or upgrades coming. So it helps you to adapt to those changes. And it also helps the organization to avoid spending money on the large capital. I'll tell you how. So you being an organization, if you're using everything on-prem, you're spending money on your hardware, you're spending money on the IT, you're spending money in a room which has the air conditions to cool down the server. Fourth thing, you are having two resources while managing the server room, one in the morning shift and one in the night shift. It evolves around the total capital cost which you're spending on your hardware. Once you decide to move on to the cloud, it get reduces. You don't need to spend anything on your hardware. Everything would be managed by the SAP. We as a team would provide you a SaaS thing, which is the software as a service, wherein you can use our services and everything would be managed by us. So as you join the webinar, you might be having a question in mind, like why we should go for a public cloud. As I told you in the beginning, I gave you the graphical representation. I gave you the difference, like why you should go for public cloud instead of moving to the private cloud or the other deployment models. So these are the certain features which you have. So let's discuss that. So once is the lower total cost of ownership, which we have discussed in the past as well. Then comes the fast deployment and time to value. So why people think that it's faster implementation and innovation? So I told you that in the public cloud, we have the ready to use environments and your implementation can be done within weeks or within months. It don't require a lot of time. Second, it has the enable rapid adaptation of AI, which we have in the market. Then comes the built-in security and compliance, which I told you that the data security and data migration will be taken care for us. And we have our 24 by 7 team who is working on that piece. Also, we provide you the 99.99% SLA. So, what are the benefits as an organization you'll be getting once you move to the SAP Cloud ERP? The first benefit and the major benefit is the innovation, where creation of the resources. You help the organization to grow. Also, you reduces the manual work. Second is the total cost of ownership, which helps you to reduce the technical debt by removing the unnecessary customizations required in an organization. So as an organization, if you're using any third-party tool and you think that the integration is not possible once you have decided for SAP, so being an SAP partner, assure you that yes, sir, the implementation is possible if you're using any third-party tool. Then comes the change management. In change management, like we have the best inbuilt processes as an SAP S/4HANA public cloud. We have the deployment practices, the best deployment practices which are inbuilt. So if any industry decides to move from the on-prem or if they want to start a fresh journey, we help them in avoiding the destabilizing operations. So that's all from my side, team. Once again, thank you for the joining the webinar. So let's come to the question and answer piece. So do we have any questions? Yes, Ujjwal. Yes, Ujjwal, you have any question? Yes, Rakesh, sir. You also have one question. Let me first unmute. Yes, Ujjwal.
I have
Ujjwal, I
already
guess.
asked, yeah,
Yes.
I have already asked the question in the Q&A section. There's a
Okay.
section beside chat, yeah. If you want,
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
just copy that here
Let
as
me.
well.
No problem. Let me just open the Q&A session. So beyond, so let's first answer Ujjwal question. It says beyond technical migration, what is the single biggest mindset shift organization must take when moving to S/4HANA Cloud? That's a very good question. So once the technical migration is done, so it's not just the migration we help that, but as an organization, if they have decided to move from on-prem to cloud and the migration is done, so the major benefits which I told you they'll be getting as an S/4HANA public cloud is the total cost of ownership. So it automatically reduces the cost of your ID hardware. Third thing, you'll have the access to the adaptable features of AI which is available in the market. Fourth, you'll be getting all the major updates and upgrades which is available.
I think that's great. And I mentioned that what, according to you, would be the single biggest mindset shift? You pointed around 4, 5 shifts that we'll be seeing through this particular migration. But what do you feel is the single biggest beyond the technical thing?
So beyond the technical would be the cost.
Cost,
Because
okay.
as you know, every other organization wants to reduce the total cost. So I think the cost is the biggest mindset once you move from on-prem to S/4HANA Cloud.
Thanks a lot. I
Thank
think
you.
that clears my question. Thank you.
I guess Rakesh. Yes, Rakesh, sir, you're on mute. I can see the hand raised by you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm working in a public sector company and
Mm-hmm.
ours is ECC 6 EHP7. So
Okay.
on-prem server only we are using.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
not HANA. So we have so many implementation issues we have, the transaction level issues. And
Mm-hmm.
so from 2017 we are using SAP only.
Okay.
So this is the time for migration, right? So one of our concern is, so if you're migrating means how how you are addressing this issues, issues in the sense the transaction,
Mhm.
how you standardizing the issue, current scenario and
Mhm.
standard SAP scenario. One of our
Okay.
concern.
Okay. So
So
thank you,
this is a
Rakesh sir.
Kerala government manufacturing
Mhm.
company.
Okay. So, sir, if you don't mind, may I just know like what exactly the biggest concern currently you are facing?
No, actually, in every module we have issues. We are only using the same that basic modules only,
Mm-hmm.
PPMM, QM like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, but in every module, some challenges we are facing.
Mm-hmm. Sir, if you can elaborate the challenges, like as you told me that you are using PP, MM, and QM module. So,
Yeah.
if you can just provide me with one or two challenges, I can provide you the solution.
So, can we have a discussion separately out of this?
Definitely, sir. After this webinar, I'll be reaching out to you to understand the challenges currently which you are facing with different kind of modules like PPMM and how being an
Not only
SAP partner,
PPMM, I just tell we have using 6 modules,
six
different,
modules. Okay.
yeah, SD and PPF, FICO we are using.
Okay.
HCF, the salary payroll posting, and we have issues.
Mhm. No problem, Rakesh sir. So after the webinar, I'll be reaching out to you and I'll be understanding what exactly the problem you're facing. And then we being an SAP partner, we'll be giving you the solutions how you can come out of that problem.
And also that we are using 50 users, including the developer. 50 users, we are
50
paying the
users.
license. Yeah, 50. So
Okay,
how
sir.
the cost part is how is the cost part of this migration?
Definitely, sir. I'll tell you. I'll help you with that
Yeah,
after the webinar.
yeah,
Thank you,
sure.
sir, for raising
Thank
this
you,
concern.
thank you.
Thank you. So, guys, any other questions? So, I guess everything is cleared now. Why you should start your transform journey to the cloud ERP. Thank you everyone for joining this webinar session. So we'll be moving on to the next topic in the next month, wherein I'll be telling you about the implementation strategies and the migration methodologies which are involved during the complete implementation of the cloud ERP journey. Thank you, team. Thank you everyone for joining.